Millions of workers are finding new jobs during the Great Resignation. It's a candidate's job market, so people are finding new opportunities, negotiating higher salaries, and better benefits. If you plan to make a move, there is one important question you need to consider when you're thinking about your exit strategy from your current employer. Should you tell your current employer where you're going to work? I'm Lori Cole, certified career coach and advisor with iHire. If you're considering leaving your job, you'll want to do it on the very best terms possible. You'll want to give as much notice as you can to help tie up loose ends. This will also help protect your reputation and your network. But there's one thing that you may be wondering. Do you really have to disclose to your old employer where you're going after you resign? Well, the short answer is no. You're really not legally obligated to tell your current employer where you're going next, but consider your relationship with your current manager when deciding whether or not to share that information. Let's talk about two scenarios. In the first scenario, you trust your boss, you're very confident that they have your best interest at heart. In that case, you can certainly tell them where you're headed and you probably won't have to worry about it. Most companies really do understand people wanting to better themselves, and they won't have a problem with that, and they'll probably wish you well on your way out the door. In the second scenario, you may be leaving a toxic work environment or bad management, and you are not quite sure how they're going to react, but your suspicion is that they won't act with your best interest in mind. You may even be concerned about retaliation from your current employer. In this case, keep the details about your new employer to yourself, and I mean to yourself. Don't even share those details with coworkers because you know how news spreads like wildfire. Now, you might think, what possible harm could they cause? I already have a job offer, but a quick Google search will turn up all sorts of stories about current employers calling new employers and completely bypassing that employee. They've done everything from asking a new employer to push out start dates so the current employer has more time to prepare, bad-mouthing the employee so that the new relationship gets off to a rocky start, and in some cases, the damage is so bad, the new employer rescinds the offer. So have a plan on how to answer this question if it comes up. You'll want to be brief and tactful and calm. Keep your responses short and sweet, and decide what details you are willing to share. For example, you could say something like, I really appreciate you asking me, but I'm not ready to disclose that information about my new employer yet, but I can let you know as soon as I get settled in. Then go back and talk about your resignation letter, talk about your last day, and what you can do to help make the transition as smooth as possible. If your boss continues to push for the info, I would see that as a big red flag. Try to pivot that conversation to something else and don't offer any additional details. Also, hold off on updating your LinkedIn profile or any other social media pages until you've been working for the new employer for at least a couple of weeks. Before you announce your new job, make sure you're settled in at the new company and that the new role is just right for you. You don't want to have one of those moments where you announce it to the world and then 2 weeks later you say, never mind, I'm back on the job market. What about your reasons for resigning? Should you share those? Absolutely. Share as much as you feel comfortable with, and it really is only fair for you to share your reason for leaving. If your manager wants you to participate in an exit interview, you should certainly do that. They'll appreciate any feedback that you have, and who knows, your input may improve the workplace for those coworkers that you're leaving behind. Be sure to express your gratitude during your exit interview. No matter how tempted you are to only share your grievances, you can always find a thing or two about this current job that led you to your new job and that you're grateful for. Don't burn any bridges. You never know when those connections will come in handy and benefit you in the future. Are you ready to make a move? Check out our resignation templates and articles for more advice to be sure you have all of your resignation bases covered.